What's rollin', Brawlers? Viva la Hun here with all the cheese and your things TCG, back with another Bakugan Pro Shield of Destroya starter set review. Now, I have actually reviewed every other starter set but this one, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. As you know how these things go, this is a starter set with a deck and 3 Bakugan. So let's go ahead and get this up real quick. Hope you guys have had a safe weekend and a safe rest of your month. We're getting to that that cold season, so you know how that is. It's great to have cold weather now, especially because I live in Texas, where it's very, very hot. So I would like to have some cool weather for once. All right, let's get started with the cores. Right here we have a orange shield 150 or yellow shield, whatever. A green fist 50B with 1 damage and -2 gear reduction. We have a +2 damage and fusion +2 as well. We have a green fist +3 damage and -1 gear reduction. We have a -300 yellow shield. And then we have a +2B or 2 damage green fist. Alright, let's get to the cards real quick. The character card here is Trox and Sirius. 600B, 3 damage with a yellow shield and a green fist, and 6 energy for a fusion. Here is the back. 14B, 3 frost strike, 6 damage. Here's Ryurazu. 300B, 3 damage, 1 yellow shield and 1 green fist. Here is Batrix Ultra, 500B, 5 damage and 2 green fists. Not the best, but they could be a lot better. Here's the Trox Sirius, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is that one. Let's go ahead and... Oh no. I put my mat that opposite way, but we're so good at this, we can still do it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we still got it. Here we are. I actually like this one. I wish I had this one in diamond. I haven't had the chance to grab them yet. Pretty sure this is the Ryurazu. Oh, that was chunky. Here we are. Ryurazu. And then of course Batrix. I'm not gonna close this one because I actually don't know how to close it, so I don't want to fail myself here. Alrighty, let's get to the cards, I guess. Go ahead and let's get started. We have Pyrus Stopper Slam. 1 cost, stop Pyrus or Fusion Bakugan. You only get one of those. Pyrus Spark. 3 costs for +300B and double strike. You get 2 of those. Let's get these out of the way, actually. Push this back a bit. Alright. You get Magmon or Magum plus 1200B for 6 costs. You get 2 of those. Here's the other Pyro Stopper Slam. Fluid Form. Stop Aquos or stop Aquos or Fusion Bakugan for 1 cost. You get 2 of those. Sneaky Squid, 4 costs for stopping a non-fusion, and if you do, draw 1. You get 2 of those. Aquos Overwhelm, 1 cost for +200 and boost if you have 7 or more energy cards in play, 600 instead. Get 200 or 2 of those. Aqua Crawler, 2 costs for +400B, and if you energize this card from your hand, you may pay 2 energy to draw a card. Here's Impaling Icicles, 7 costs for 7 Frost Strike. Improvised Armor, 3 costs for 2 damage and 2 draw. Flip Strike, 3 costs for 700B. Get 2 of those. Swamp Trap, 4 costs for negating an action card and recharge up to 4 energies. That's actually really good. Oh, you only get 1? Hook Trap, 4 costs for giving a Ventus, a non-Aquos Bakugan, negative 1200B. You get 2 of those. It's actually pretty good. Multi-strike, 5 costs for plus 300B and 3 draw. You get 2 of those. Ventus Venom, 4 costs for you must re-roll your Bakugan, and if you open on the re-roll, you may enter the top 2 cards of your deck uncharged, then plus 100B for each energy card you have played. That's actually very, very good. Too fast, 4 costs for stopping a non-fusion Bakugan, and if you do, energize this card uncharged. You get 2 of those. That's decent. Ventus Distraction, 7 costs for negative 12 damage and 1 draw. Get 2 of those as well. Ventus Rampage, 2 costs for plus 1 damage and each energy you have in play, and boost if you have 7 or more energy cards. This card has Shadow Strike. Solar Wings, 2 costs for negative 5 energy, and if you energize this card from your hand, you may pay 2 energy to draw a card. Vicious Defense, 3 costs for negative 200B and negative 6 damage. Gaia Rocket, 7 costs for when this flips from your deck, you may pay 2 energy to enter this card from your hand uncharged. You have a 2 armor rating, 700B, and plus 5 damage. Savage Swarm, 3 costs for boost, and when you play this card, if you have 7 or more energy cards in play, you can have plus 500B, and 100B, and 4 damage. You get 2 of those. Telekinesis Crown, 6 costs for 2 gear. Oh, that had a 1 gear reduction as well. Sorry about that. The Telekinesis Crown has a 6 costs for 2 armor rating with 600B and 6 damage. You get 2 of those. And here's the last and final card, the Crest Stormer, for 4 cost. And when you flip this card from your deck, you can play 2 energy to draw a card for 400B and 2 damage. Now, my personal opinion, there's only a few of these cards that are really, really good. A lot of them are kind of, I wouldn't say bad. They just don't have their placement right now. I'm assuming there's going to be, it seems like I can see where some of this stuff is going, but it just quite isn't there. I'm going to do some honorable mentions first, I suppose. Here's going to be Too Fast, Solar Wind, or Solar Wing, and honestly, that's probably it right there. Those are the 2 honorable mentions. Mainly Too Fast. It's gonna stop a non-fusion Bakugan. Not only that, it can underrate itself. Obviously, it's gonna be 4 costs, but when you have boost and you're gonna be running Ventus, you're gonna be having the less energy anyways. So that kind of pays for itself. Solar Wings is a nice 2 cost because you're going to be stopping 5 damage, and then you can, if you do energize this card from your hand, you can honestly play 2 to draw a card, and that, you know how most of those you know how most of the Shield to Destroy cards have that kind of built into them. That's kind of the best one because it is a Ventus card. Onto the actual cards that I think are kind of worthy. Here's one of the lower ones. Savage Swarm is actually going to be one of the better cards, mainly because it's gonna have that boost effect, that boost activation, to where you're gonna get the 500B on top of the 100, so it's gonna be like 600B, and then you have the 1 shield rating, so it's gonna count as 2 cards over the flip, so you're not gonna have to really waste your flips too much. And it seems like with Too Fast and some of the other cards, you're gonna be able to use your flip cards as resources and use your hand for resources as well. With that being said, with Savage Swarm, I'm obviously going to include Gaia Rocket. Mainly not to play. That's really to be determined because I'm not too sure really how to run Ventus at the moment. It seems like it has a lot of ways it wants to go, but I mean, it doesn't have another like faction to really support plays off of. I mean, it does have Aquos, which is really good, don't get me wrong, but Chaos and Ventus don't exactly work too well. I'm hoping that the next round is going to replace the next I'm hoping that the next series is going to replace that, to where Ventus is going to work with other cards, maybe Darkus, you know, Pyrus or you know, Rulius, then maybe where they're actually going to get cards that's going to help them a lot more. Because with Gaia Rockets, you're only going to be honestly activating to energize it and to honestly have the 2 armor rating, because that's the only other reason why I would honestly have that card in here. The next card is going to be Ventus Rampage. Mainly just because you're going to get that damage boost, and if you do have boost on there, you're going to get Shadow Strike as well. And if you're running a mono Ventus, when do you really ever have Shadow Strike? So, and on top of that, you don't need to have to run Darkest to have Shadow Strike now. You're going to have the Ventus Rampages. So I think it's going to be pretty okay for you going forward in that stunning type of build. The next card I'm going to say is going to be Ventus Venom. This is probably one of the better cards in here. One of the best, if I don't say almost underrated. Not, I mean, you do. It is a 4 cost, and you are going to have to re-roll no matter what. But when you do re-roll, you get to energize the top 2 cards of your deck, and on top of that, you get 100 for each 100B for each energy card you have in play. And if you do have 7 as the boost required, pretty much is always required, you're gonna have at least minimum plus 700 on top of that. On top of your, you know, whatever Winton is gonna come off of the Ventus Venom. And if you are running Pyrus in your builds, you're gonna be having Dan Kuzos to play. Pretty much, maybe play this for free. I say it's a 3 of, maybe a 2 of at minimum. But and this is probably the best card out of all this entire set. It's probably the chase card in my opinion. It's gonna be Swarm Trap. It is a 4 cost, but negating an action card, and I mean any action card, and recharging up to 4 of your energy cards is honestly amazing. It pays for itself practically. So once you play it, you get the 4 energies back, and you're going to be able to activate either your flip cards, you're going to be able to activate any of your, you know, any other action cards you need to play. It's pretty much one of the better cards in here, in my opinion. Going off that note, there isn't much in this starter deck that I deem to be really, really helpful. I mean, the Crust Stormer, that's the gear. It's not that good, to be honest. I'll be honest. It's not the best. It could be a lot. It could be a lot better, but it's just not the best. So, well, I do suggest picking up this if you're gonna, you know, want the Swamp Traps and the Ventus Venoms. I think those are the 2 best cards. I think the Ventus Rampage is worth kind of looking at, but the Ventus Venom and Swamp Trap are probably your 2 chase cards in my opinion. That being said, I'm not too sure where exactly I want to take this. Take the Ventus archetype to be exact. There's many ways it could go. At the moment, I'm not too sure. It just doesn't have that third, like, the third wheel. Not third wheel, but it just doesn't have that extra support that it kind of needs from, you know, the other factions, like Aquos having with Aquos having with, like, you know, Darkest, and Darkest having with Pyrus obviously has good synergy, but with Ventus it only has good synergy, to be honest, with Aquos. And with all that being said, I'm just not too sure where to put this archetype. Well, I'm not really too sure where to put this faction, to be exact. There are some good cards in here that are worth noting, but at the same time, it's just, is it worth putting in that, you know, that mysterious factor? That is it worth putting in the mystery factor, even though you're not too sure, you know, where you want to put the build at? I think it's worth just waiting. Is it worth putting effort into figuring out a good build for Ventus right now when we're really not too sure where? I'm really not too sure where it's going to be in the next, you know, few months or so. Guys, what did you think about these cards? What did you think about the structure deck? You know, I think it could have been better. It's one of the weaker structure decks, but you know, it could have been a lot better. I think it could have had multiple Swamp Traps that have been a lot better. I think Ventus Venom shouldn't have been an awesome rare, but with all that being said, I do think it's a good set. Well, guys, I guess I'll see you next time, and have a good rest of your week and weekend. Whenever you're watching this video, I'm recording this on a Saturday, so you guys keep rolling. Have a wonderful evening.